Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Friday, October the 14th, 2022. Today we're pulling from the Deviant Moon Tarot cards. So we're starting off with the Hermit, and I feel like kind of like a vampire, like shh, the sun, this dog. Sorry about that. So I feel like, the sun. So maybe this could be a depression where it's just like, they're saying you're afraid to go outside and face yourself, I guess, like, or what's going on, what you've done. But I feel like there may be like a breaking up with the relationship here. Like we always see these fish, the Page of Cups. Like you were afraid this fish is going to jump out and swim into the water. I feel like something is done here, because it's a skeleton. So I feel like, with the Hermit card, it's like, a time of, maybe there's a breakup happening here, a separation, that you should be alone at this time. So I feel like this is heading into the new moon, which happens on the following Tuesday, the 25th. And it's just like talking about how, it's going to be in Scorpio. It's a new moon. It's a solar eclipse, double shadow, so prepare for it, what were the cards telling us a couple weeks ago? Go out in the sun and find the sun. Heal yourself in the sun. Go outside and find the moon. I have a Samsung, so you have that setting where you can really zoom on the moon and see the details. But it's just like, if you sit there and put night mode on, it really illuminates the night sky and you can see all the stars. So it's like playing around with it, but it's like just getting in that energy. I definitely felt like the moon was really bright this full moon, right before it and after it. Like, and it was an Aries, so we felt that fiery energy. But it's just like, I feel like with this Hermit card, it's just like, even though this has gone on, we end with the Four of Swords. I feel like it's a time of rest and rejuvenation. I feel like Spirit is like taking a step back. You know what I mean? They're showing the light of the situation. Here we're kind of hiding from the light. So this is where I feel like we're going inward. Maybe we're going inside too much. Maybe a break from work or school. Like, I feel like, an institution in that way. Maybe you've been working too much and you just need a break, The kids have fall break. They have winter break, So they'll have that break before Thanksgiving for the U.S. kids. And then they have, Canada kids have the winter break for Christmas. Same with the U.S., but, they have, our Thanksgivings are in different months. The 5 of Wands. So I feel like, this relationship had to end because of someone's insecurities. They thought there was, when we have the 5 of Wands, it's like you're not the only, person, a player in the field. This is like a verbal confrontation. So at work, this would be verbal altercations with coworkers. Maybe you're taking the higher ground in this situation. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to worry about me. Your job doesn't require for you to, work as a team. Like you work as a team, you're a team player, but it's like, don't get involved in the drama. So maybe by you pulling yourself out, you're like, you know what? It's, this is a lot easier to breathe. Easy breezy lemon squeezy. We have the 9 of Pentacles coming in here. I feel like, I'm showing off this outfit here. I'm like, I feel like they're feeling themselves here. This rebirth in our life. The deceit is leaving our life. So I feel like, this is a change that needs to happen. It's a rebirth. Maybe this is a realization to you, Like, I don't have to sit there and be second fiddle to someone. It's either me or nobody. I'm not going to play second fiddle to you. I'm the only choice. One and only choice. I'm not an option. I'm the only choice. There is no other choice, So I feel like that's where the deceit, you're choosing yourself to be happy. This rebirth in your life where you're like, you know what, I am, I feel like in a spotlight here. It's like, I am the only one. Even if it means that you have to forge alone for a time being here. Because they're saying a time of rest and rejuvenation. What were we doing before? I felt like August was very humid. It was like endless humidity. And it was just like, even into the beginning of September. It's like here in New Brunswick, Canada, it's like, August 15th, it's like the temperature starts to, we're at 23, or 25. Like, September will peak at 28, but no humid X or anything like that. It's where it's comfortable and you love to be in the sun, not where it's like you're roasting and you're just like a vampire like this one, But I feel like it's very dramatic, Oh, poor me, I'm going to fall on the sword. Oh my gosh. This is the full moon in November and I feel like nobody cares. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, poor me. It's like the universe, you know what I mean? The world isn't coming to save you. We all have our trials and tribulations. We all have our drama. No one's coming here to save you. So I feel like it's just like save it. You know what I mean? So it's just like you go out, do your thing, worry about yourself, but there's nobody coming here to save you. You know? You got to work hard to put the blood, sweat, and tears in. But I feel like they're saying a time for rest and rejuvenation. You know, we were going out doing the gardening, watering the plants. It gets tedious, especially in the heat. You're sitting there swatting at mosquitoes. You're trying to fill your can, you know, trying to water all the, you know, pulling weeds. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a lot of work. It ends up being a lot of work near, you know, when the heat waves hit, it's just like, ugh. Like, I'd rather be doing anything else but this. You know what I mean? Like, everybody hides out inside because it's too hot. You know? So I feel like now it's just like we're going to go into this lull, this kind of void of course, where it's just like, yeah, go out and enjoy yourself. But also at the same time, it's like, you know, not worrying about having to cut the grass as much. Not worrying having to water all the gardening plants. Now it's bringing all the plants in and back and forth with the frost. You know? Even that's going to get tedious. And you're just like, let it freeze, you know? So it's just like, I feel like in that way too, I feel like some people, but I just feel like Spirit is saying you need a rest and rejuvenation. You've been going, chasing your tail. I feel like if you feel like, you know, doing things extra, that's one thing, but don't do it because someone's trying to guilt you or you feel guilty. Like, what did they say? Prioritize what you have to take care of. For those of us that are in the high holidays, it's just like, you know, it's been high holiday after high holiday. So it's like trying to get as done as much as you can. But it's just like at the same time, it's like, you know, you're in these restrictions. So things start to pile up in that way, you know. But it's just like, you know, got to respect the time, got to respect your belief system, you know. But, you know, if you're someone like myself that, you know, you see a basket of laundry, like, why isn't it put away? Like, everything should be in its place, you know. So it's just like being kind to yourself, you know. One thing I said to myself, I was just like, I'm never going to call myself lazy again. I was just like back-to-back readings and everything. I'm blessed for it. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, need a woosah, you know? Taking the time and break for yourself. You know, that's all you can do. But, you know, I definitely feel like, you know, Spirit is warning you here, especially with the Hermit card. It's time to take a step back, see the light of the situation of where you are. Maybe it's just like work, so maybe they're telling you, maybe you should take a long weekend. Maybe take a couple maybe you're owed some sick days, they're saying. You know, so maybe you sit there and give yourself a long weekend. You know, start taking off every Friday or every Monday if you're able to. You know, so that way you can sit there and woosah. You know, where you work and you have like so many sick days and they don't carry over to the next year. They're like, okay, you have some sick days you got to use, you know, so you got to, you know, use them. So I feel like in that way. But I feel like it's like put yourself first. You are a priority. You're just as important as everybody else that you're doing this hard work for. But I feel like in a dramatic situation where it's like, you know, maybe there's office politics because they're saying this situation, it's like that's gone. You know what I mean? This seat is gone. Maybe someone was feeding you gossip, you know, and maybe they left and now it's like, you know, do you notice that it's more even tempered now because that, you know what I mean? And that kind of situation. Or maybe you cut someone out of your life that was deceiving you. And it's just like, you know, wow, like they really did do a lot. You know what I mean? And it's like kind of like a wake up call, you know? So I feel like in that way, it's like, you know, take a step back, rest and rejuvenate before you can pick up the sword again. And I feel like that's what, you know, we were talking about this. So usually if you live in a place like, you know, Canada where you have 4 seasons and, you know, or you live in New Brunswick and it's only snow and sun. It's like snow for like 9 months of the year. Everyone's going like, no, that's not true. Feels like that sometimes. But it's just like, you know, sitting there and getting out and enjoying the weather. But at the same time, it's like making time for yourself. You don't have to say yes to everything. You know, do things for yourself. You know, is that just, you know, sitting in a chair and having a nice cup of coffee and enjoying the sun? Simple pleasures. Enjoy the simple pleasures in life while you can. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Friday, October 14th, 2022. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card. Bye.